Welcome to the Midnight American. I'm Ben. I'm here with my buddy Justin. How was your week in Texas, Justin?
It's probably the best week I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
Dude, I got to get out more. Terry's up in Idaho, okay? That's my wife. And you are in Texas. Y'all are just like out living life, and I'm just like,
Sitting here researching news.
Making a video. I made a video, though. Did you see the video?
Oh, I haven't yet. No,
You haven't watched the video yet? Oh, man.
I'm busy.
I am disappointed.
I'll get to it. I'll get to it later.
No wonder
Today.
It has hardly any views on it. Okay, it's good. It's good. I put some work into this one. This one was a little different. So anyway, yeah. So I was talking to Terry. I said, man, we got to take on some new projects. I think some new things, and she's feeling like kind of like she wants to get some things going. And that's what this channel or this podcast is about helping creatives and artists and people who do things where they use their soul, their spirit, they have purpose, they have passion, they love creativity. They cannot live without doing something creative in their life. And if that's you, then this is the podcast for you. So we like to support that, but we want, I think, as a requirement of people that come to this podcast is that they need to be smart. Okay, you can't come here and be an idiot because you're just not going to. You're not going to play on the same field. Okay, and what do I mean by that? I mean the leftist ideology that everything should be given to me, that I should be able to ride just on my talents and my skills and be able to do whatever I want and live my life however I want without any kind of responsibility or work ethic or anything like that. It's not going to work here. Okay, you're not going to be able to bullshit your way through listening to this and come back. If there's comments that to me I feel are just BS and you're just living in an echo chamber, I won't even give it the time of day. You got to be honest. You have to be honest and smart and courageous. You have to say what's on your mind, but not. It's okay to stand up against the status quo. Okay, that's what I loved the idea of this kind of conservatives being the new punk rock, because I really feel that that's what it is. Things have changed. Things have switched, and working hard, good work ethic. That's what it's about here. Okay, and we'll go through some stories here that I hope we're going to support it a little bit, but I don't know. I can't say for sure. But you're going to have to think with your own mind. You're going to have to be truthful. We will be as truthful as we can with you, and you will have to be as truthful with yourself as you can be, and not live within the lies that exist in our world today that tell you a reality that support a reality that just doesn't exist, because that absolutely does kill creativity and art, and it will stop your dreams right in their tracks. Does that sound like this podcast, Justin?
Yeah, it sounds like something you would talk about.
Okay. Yeah, Justin hears me talk about this all the time.
It's just another day with Ben.
It's the world we live in, man. Right?
Yep.
And that's now, I don't want to go right into today's like news, and the happenings and all of that. This is what we like to do with this podcast. But I wanted to bring up a couple of videos here, and it kind of starts things off in maybe a little bit of an uncomfortable way. But I think it's important for us to understand the world that we live in, and that it somewhat supports many of the stories that we have moving forward. So go ahead and bring up that first video if you have it there, Justin. This is a guy. He's it's a man accused of sucker punching a victim. It's in New York City, which is no big surprise. And but he was originally arrested and then set free and allowed to walk. No bail. Yep, no cash bail, none of that. But let's see what he did. What did he do? Yeah, he couldn't have done something. If they just let him go, he couldn't have done anything too egregious. Well, let's find out. And they're just showing his face real good there because they were looking for him. They're not looking for him anymore. They know who he is. And he's just walking along, la la la. Bang! So show it again, Justin. Just back it up there. Let's see what he does there. Walking up all casually and sucker punch. Now I got a great Will Smith video. You can see it on this channel where I talk about how to deliver a good sucker punch step by step. Okay, and this guy follows almost all of the points to a T. He must have watched the video, okay, because
it's your fault that these people are out there.
You got to watch what you put out there. Yeah. So, okay, and I guess he was arrested, and then he was let go on no cash bail, but then he was rearrested. I guess he was already on probation, and so they were able to bring him back in and all of that. I'm not sure how they accomplished that, but they did. But there's another video here. Let's see. That was yesterday, though. Of course, that video was. I think that happened a couple of days ago. But here's a new video. This one came out yesterday. Let's see here. The kids. First of all, you see that the guy here standing in the middle. Okay, everybody's faces are blurred. The guy standing here in the middle. He's just waiting in line. Just waiting. You know, I don't know what he's doing there. Maybe he's returning something. The guy comes up. Bang. Sucker punch, right? Out of nowhere.
Knocked up.
Yep. This hero. I mean, that. How much courage does it take to walk up behind somebody without them even seeing it coming and just laying them out cold? What a hero. Now,
is anybody going to help these people?
Now, yeah. And here comes a security guard down there at the bottom. Oh, no, I got, I'm going to lunch. I clocked out for lunch. I'm heading on out of here. Okay, you can end it there. It's okay. And then they got him coming out the gate and everything. This is, well, if you want to watch this too, I
call
guess you
me
can.
white, but his pants need to be pulled up.
I don't know. He's looking pretty badass to me, dude. That's to be truly cool and kick ass in today's world. You got to wear your pants down at your knees, literally, and nothing underneath. Well, here, yeah. So
What a fool.
Yeah. Okay, you can keep that one in the can there. I may have to come back to that one a little bit just to make a few points here. Why did I bring these up, though? I could go on and on about, what pieces of shit these people are. But I'm not going to. And I'm going to tell you why. Because this is the world we live in. And it's never going to go away. It's not like this is the first. These were just videos from yesterday and day before. It's not going away. It's been around for years, okay? The criminal element right now is just running rampant. I've said before on this podcast, if you ever wanted to be a criminal, there's never been a better time than right now. With the Democrats in charge, with them letting people out of prison, with the smallest thing, trying to get the guns out of everybody's hands, make everyone a victim. You'll be charged if you defend yourself, all of that. It's never been a better time. Walk into any store, just fill up your bag, walk on out. Doesn't matter. Okay. But here's the thing. It's the world we live in. And it's very easy to sit at home watching your Netflix, just zoning this out, saying none of this exists. It was a funny thing. I was watching, what was it? Jesse Waters doing a little bit yesterday on Fox. I just caught the end of it there, and he was interviewing people on the beach, young people, more relatively young people, and asking them questions about the Trump Mar-a-Lago raid and all that. What do you think about it? I didn't know there was a raid. What raid? Well, do you support them? Do you support Biden and his policies on what Biden? Isn't he the vice president? I mean, like literally, dude, clueless. Mm-hmm. When things go south, it also reminds me when the, they first started the whole shutdown, the lockdown because of the COVID. The shelves were empty, and I knew I saw it coming a mile off, and we we stocked up and all of that. And remember when we were going in there just to pick up a few items and the shelves were all empty and people were like, what's going on? What is going? This is crazy. What's happening? And I mean, it wasn't just a few. And it really shows me how people just don't pay attention. And that much like these yahoos who walked up and clocked these people from their six, from behind, didn't even see it coming. And that's the world you live in. And it's not going to go away. This is going, whether you can ignore it, you can stand there, staring at the ceiling, waiting for the next bus, the next train, the next person to come to the counter and help you and everything like that. And then boom. Life will take you out that way. This is just an example of, and I mean, I hate to use this as an example, but this is real. And it's happening everywhere. Everywhere, and people are just blissfully asleep, head in the sand, and we want to wake people up to the reality that you live in. And now we'll get to the news. We got Anthony Fauci is retiring. Okay. Now, I really am not interested in this story whatsoever. Had a buddy of mine say, man, you got to read this book on Anthony Fauci. It tells about all the things that he was into and the whole gain of function thing. And I love it. This guy's a great guy. I really wanted me to read this book because he knows I'm into all this stuff. I couldn't bring myself to do it because I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Okay, I know who this guy is. I know what he was the minute that I saw him, the minute I listened to him talk. I've worked with people like this before in the past. This guy is a slick, dick, slimy salesman. Everything about him, there's telltale signs that you can tell when you see somebody's just bullshitting and using the system. By the way, this is a guy who came in at just the right time. If he would have come in 10 years earlier trying to pitch everything that he's doing right now, I don't think he'd have gotten the same response out of people. But we were at a time, it was a perfect time when everything's kind of in a state of upheaval, that he was able to come in, use this whole, virus thing and use it to his advantage, in which a lot of people say that he was involved in it, and then turn around to be the savior. And I mean, I like I said, I'm not going to go into it too deep because I don't really care. I really could, but he's stepping down from the position of Director of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, and NIAID, Chief of the NIAID Laboratory of Immunoregulation, and Chief Medical Advisor to President Biden. This guy has just held this non-elected position of power, and it's amazing. It's amazing. But he was making what was he making a year? His salary was $435,000 a year. That was just his salary. That's not anything else. That's not his speaking engagements. That's not all the articles that he did for magazines and all of that. Excuse me.
There's absolutely no need for someone to make that.
And his retirement. But the best part about it is, now that he is retiring, now that he's getting out of there, now that he knows that the Republicans are going to sweep here in the midterms, and also that the people are now kind of growing a pair a little bit when it comes to all of this regulation stuff. They've had enough of it. So if you don't have somebody that's scared, you cannot manipulate. You got to that's the way you do it. You manipulate people through fear. And then the media does it. He's done it. The media's done it. That's why I was able to show these videos. I can show you a dozen videos, just like the ones that we just showed you here at the beginning, to instill the fear into the public. I want to instill reality, not fear. We want courage, and we need courage in this country right now. We need people who are willing to stand up. We need artists and creatives who will not shirk the responsibility that you have to support the gifts that you've been given. And this guy's just a part of it. He's a part of the fears, part of the fear mongering. And as I said, a complete salesman. But he's getting out. Okay? While the getting's good. And says he's not done. He's got other things he's got to do and all of that. But he's going to be held responsible, I think, as time goes forward here.
He's 81 years old.
Yes, 81 years old and still going strong, which I think to a certain degree we can take something good away from that. You know, it's never too late to play on your passions, to follow your dreams and to make a difference in the world. This guy is really, look, you can say what you want, but he's made a splash. Look, he won. Against us. We paid the price, but he won. Now, how will it play forward from here? Hard to say. I don't know. But he was able to sell those goods. He was able to sell you on the science because he was the science. I don't know if you remember him saying that. He goes, basically saying, if you're arguing with me, you're arguing with science.
Because I am science.
You're arguing with me, you're arguing with science. Yeah. And because he is the science, you know what I mean? He's just trying to do what's good. So if you're arguing with him, you're arguing with what is good. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but it was no different, really. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And he's using the science. And really, is there any science anymore? Where is the science? This is the new religion. Okay, it's what they fight the theist beliefs with science.
Mm-hmm.
And what is science? You tell me. Is science where you say, let's see, to bring down crime, let's look at some cause and effect here. Isn't that what science is? Okay, it's something that we can repeat through cause and effect.
Yeah, what's a method of studying, and you repeat your theory over and over again to make it true.
Yes.
Or see how it turns out.
So is science where you
that was like the worst way of saying it, but
no, you made the point. Is science where you defund police and take away the police and take away people's ability to protect themselves by new gun laws and all of that crime will go down? Is that science?
Nope.
Well, according to the left, it is. Okay. Is science when you focus on racism, focus on race as being the problem, that racism will go away?
Nope.
That's weird because the left thinks it is. Is it where we sexually transition children and at an age where they really are not mature enough to be able to make these decisions because they haven't even gone through all the emotional changes and development, that you go through, that will decrease their chances of suicide later in life?
Nope.
Really? Well, the left says it is. Okay, does that mean that there are, 52, 78, 124 genders? Is that science?
Nope.
The left says it is. See, this is all Fauci's world. This is the science. The science. If you're arguing with me, you argue with me. Science. Does men can get pregnant? Is that science?
Nope.
Is okay, I've never argued with global warming. I've never even said that we don't play a part in global warming. But is
climate change
making sure that we spend hundreds of billions of dollars. No. I'm saying that wrong. Okay. Billions and billions of dollars if we give it to the federal government to put into programs that this will save our planet. Is that science?
Nope.
I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe that is maybe that's, I'm so scared to do anything, Justin. I'm so afraid that I'm just going to buy in. That's science. That's science. I'm just going to lock myself away and just keep giving up my taxes and just playing along and just letting letting him sucker punch you over and over and over again. Just bury your head in the sand. Ron Paul is not burying his head in the sand, though. He's been going off on Fauci for some time. And, Ron Paul, Fauci's retirement won't stop. An investigation, he's going to keep investigating him, stay on him. Now, do I think it's
retiring?
I think he's well, go ahead.
Oh, I think he's trying to get out of something for sure.
He's escaping and going to maybe this is the time for me to step back and
fade in the shadows.
That's it. It's like that Homer Simpson meme where he fades into the bush. That's what he's trying to do here. But he's made his money off of fear. Look, say what you want. Okay, people, you might think that he was a hero. I'm sure there's people out there. Oh, he's a hero. He's a hero. What did he? Of those of you out there who might think that he's a hero, and I don't think anyone watching
he's
this
a murderer.
I don't know if he's. Hey, look, it's above my position of sight to know if that is the case, my purview. But I can see a fearmonger when it's there. Has he saved anyone's life? Can anybody out there say, if it wasn't for Fauci, I wouldn't be here right now?
Nope.
I don't know. Not me.
I think things would be better if it wasn't for Fauci. We wouldn't be in this position.
Fauci saved my life. Anybody saying that?
He ruined people's lives.
Yeah. He won, though. He won. We lost. And
he came out on top, and he's still coming out on top. $350,000 after retirement.
Well, let's see what Ron Paul's doing here. Let's go down here a little bit. And he says, his retirement will not stop a full-throated investigation.
I hope it's
Senator Rand Paul. Did I say Ron Paul? Rand Paul. Warned on Monday following the director of National Institute. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Announcing, let's see. Go down a little bit where they talk about it a little bit more. Fauci, 81, originally suggested that he would leave his post at the end of Biden's first term in office. His announcement moves up his retirement significantly after the midterm elections as Republicans hope to take control of both the House and Senate. What did I say? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I haven't read this yet, so I'm going to get to. He warned that an early retirement will not stop Republicans in the House from putting the spotlight on Fauci as they investigate the origins of the coronavirus. Now I know Rand Paul's continued to go after him, but do you believe this? Do you believe this article? Do you think that the Republicans are really going to go after him, or do you think it's going to become yesterday's news before you know it? And he's just,
if the Republicans that Trump is putting in that he has endorsed make it in, I think those Republicans will do something. The ones that are in now aren't doing anything, and that's why we need to get rid of them, move them out, put fresh people in there that actually want to do what the original Constitution was put in place to do, and have the people be representatives of the people.
That's a good take. Yep, I agree. Go down to the bottom here. It says, Paul, a longtime critic of Fauci, has warned that the GOP majority in the House could lead to such investigations. That is true. Now, they will take the House. I'm going to tell you right now, you can just put this feather in your cap. Barring some crazy event going on and just moving right into the midterms, they'll take the House. And I don't know about the Senate. That's always kind of rolls in 50-50. You never can tell. But I mean, the way things have been going with the economy and all that, that might swing to the conservative side too. I don't know. But it's the government, dude. The government right now needs an overhaul. Mm-hmm. It really does. You said it exactly right. We need to get the not just the leftists out of there. I'll call them the leftists because that's where they're at right now. There's no Democrats anymore. Not the real Democrats, not your fathers, not your grandfather's Democrats. These are leftists. These are socialists. These are people that are trying to build a new government where there is only where they are the only ones in charge. Okay, and they are not out to have a two-party system in any way. Okay, but we need an overhaul of everything. The FBI, the CIA, the DEA, they're growing the IRS. The whole idea with conservative thinking is that they shrink the government, but they're growing the government because they know. And why? Because they want to keep you in fear. That's the IRS. That's the whole thing with the IRS. Keep them in fear. Keep jackasses like you saw in these videos at the beginning out there committing crimes, letting them go, no cash bail, letting the crimes go left and right, letting these cities just fall into ruin, convicting people for just wanting to defend themselves, disarm them, keep them all victims. The Democrats in power right now, and I use that word very loosely, love this. Fear is power. Your fear is their power. You want to do something creative, artistic? Play on that. I have always said you can't create anything unless you have an emotion. Quit going to the safe space with others that are in this leftist liberal bubble that create nothing but garbage. And you see it all over on TV now with these new series that are coming out, the She-Hulk and the new Lord of the Rings stuff. And it's ridiculous. There's no courage in it. There's nothing new. It's all woke virtue signaling garbage. And they've been going after Trump for the same reasons. They want to cut the head off the snake. That's the whole idea in their minds. That's the way that they see it. But Trump seeks to temporarily block the FBI from reviewing items seized from his Florida home. Now, on his face, you looking at this title, this is what they do a lot of times with these sensationalized headlines, yes, is you look at that and at his face value, it looks like, oh, he's got something to hide, right? Because of the way that they worded it. But that's not really what's happening, okay? What it is they need, well, go down here and they'll explain it a little bit here. Former President Donald Trump on Monday asked a federal court to temporarily block the FBI from reviewing materials it seized 2 weeks ago which is weird. They haven't reviewed them yet. I don't know how this works. They don't review them right away. They have to go through a process, I guess. But from reviewing material, well, they viewed them when they picked them up.
Right.
I mean, they had to know what they were getting. We'll take this box and that is pretty much the way it sounds like what they did. They have by the way, keeping in mind that they still have the surveillance tapes that they're not releasing. And Trump is saying, we'll release it in its time. Okay? There will be he's
good.
He's got a plan. He knows what he's... Trump's not an idiot.
No.
Okay, you might think he's a narcissist. I'm not saying that I'm not a ass kisser for Trump, but I know who he is and I know what he is. He's not an idiot. He's holding on to this for a reason. But it says here, Trump's motion filed in the federal court in West Palm Beach, Florida, also demanded the U.S. Department provide him more detailed property receipt outlining items seized from the blah, 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 blah. No, he says he wanted to, there it is. I skipped over it. Until what it is he wants a special master, someone who is in the position to be appointed that is non-biased, that can oversee the review. Why would he want that?
Well, because they're obviously up to no good, the people that went and raided and took the stuff. And they're going to put something in it.
Plant. Yep. You want to make sure that they don't do that. And you might say, no, they would never do that. They would never do that. Oh, you mean they would never do that like they tried to get him with the Russia hoax? And, God, there's another story out there that supports this, but I don't have it here. But we'll have to go over it later of just how corrupt the federal, all these federal organizations are. Okay? Not just the FBI, but all of them. Okay? I said it before. They are in business to stay in business. Like anything else. They don't want to lose their jobs. They don't want to lose their powerful, above the law positions. And if they see that threatened, they'll do anything. People are not, we'll come back to what I said earlier. This is the world you live in. We're not living in a fantasy world here where everyone is virtuous. All of these scientists that are out there that are federally funded, if they find issues with climate change, they're all virtuous. They would never lie to keep their funding going. Never. No, just trust. So anyway.
I mean, they could do real work, and actually stop people from other countries invading.
Our country?
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean, what they were really put in place to do?
Yeah, to protect us.
Yeah, but we're the enemy now.
Yeah.
Okay, we're the domestic terrorists and all of that. Look, guys, just have courage. I know this is going to be, this is all tough to swallow. It sounds very defeatist. No, stand up, have courage. When you don't give a fuck anymore, when you step out there and you show that you've got a pair. Yeah, now if you're going to just go, yeah, you go do it. You go do it, Ben. And then you're going to hide back in a corner somewhere. You and Justin, you guys go do it. You guys are doing a great job. But you're going to go and just live your little life and pretend like nothing's happening. You're going to be like those people that Jesse Waters was interviewing on the beach. I see nothing. I see it's all good. My life is good. My life is good. This stuff comes back to haunt you. Nothing stays the same. It's changing. You just don't know. It's like growing old. You can't, it feels real good when you're young. It doesn't feel like you're ever going to go, get older. But then as time goes on, you get muscle aches and your teeth start falling out and your eyesight starts going and get creaks and all that. Nothing changed, but it does. It does change. And if you don't adjust your life to fit that, if you don't adjust to the reality that you're dealing with, you're going to find yourself one day in a hurting spot. God, am I going too serious today? Going kind of heavy.
Yeah, might want to lighten up
I
a
have
little
to lighten
bit.
up a little bit. Let's go to this Dennis Rodman thing. He says he's going to Russia to help free Brittany Griner. I feel better already. Okay. And hostage negotiators, right away, what's wrong with this? Okay. It wasn't Reagan that says we do not negotiate with terrorists?
Right.
Okay, or terrorist organizations or, whatever. Well, I guess in Russia, I don't know, is Russia a terrorist organization? Well, we got a story here that does support that maybe a little bit. But, so they're negotiating this. They think it's a terrible idea. What is he going to do? What is Rodman going to do?
I don't know. He is friends with the people in North Korea, so.
Yeah, well, apparently in this article, does he say down here? I think I read it in this article where he said he is friends with he says, I know Putin too well. Down there at the bottom there, he says, U.S. efforts to bring Griner home. He says, I got permission to go to Russia, and I felt inclined to assist the U.S.'s efforts to bring Griner home because I know Putin too well.
He's just so weird, guy.
And then, dude.
I mean, he was weird.
I actually like
the
Rodman.
time when he was playing basketball. And
he's a freak, but I like him. Like, freaks, nothing wrong with that. You know what? The guy, he's different, and that's okay. I think his heart is in the right place, even if his common sense isn't. But go down to the bottom here. He's saying
done a lot of charity things back in the past, though, too, didn't he?
Yeah. Buzz on down there to the bottom there. What does it say? He says, so he said they're saying it's a terrible idea, but experts say that it's a terrible idea. And that keep going down a little bit.
Well, what do experts really know these days?
It says Dennis has no business being in Russia, just flat out. I don't think it's. I think a questionably sober person is going to be able to negotiate the release of Brittany Griner, and more importantly, there is a plan. The government has a plan. I don't. There's an old saying that says, Don't trust anyone where they say, when the government says, the worst thing that you want to hear is, I'm from the government, I'm here to help. Okay. It's going to scare. Maybe Rodman going over there isn't such a bad idea. I don't know.
He'd probably get more done than the government will get done anyway as well. So.
I have to say, if it's a difference between talking to Rodman or Biden, I'm sure Biden's got someone over there that's doing this negotiating front. Everybody's pretty much doing everything for him at this point, including changing his diapers. So, but again, you got to know. I end this pod. You'll hear. I'm not going to give the phrase, but it's right here on the cup, right here on the back. You got Midnight American here on the front, and on the back, what does it say?
Know yourself better than you know anybody else.
And I think it's good to know what you can do and what you really cannot do. What is within your power and what is not within your power. And we talk about this a lot. I hate to talk about issues that are beyond our control. That's why I show these videos at the beginning. Those idiots going up there and clubbing people like baby seals, there's nothing you're going to do about those people. Those people are going to exist.
Yep.
We can sit here and bitch and complain about it all we want and talk about all the things that we can do to stop this violence. But people like that are in the single-digit IQ level, they're not going to change anything. You have to respond. You have to be proactive to change what's in your world. Those people right now, I guarantee you, the two people that you saw in those videos, if they recover and are ever the same, I guarantee you they're never going to be standing there looking at the ceiling again. They are forever changed. Forever. I remember when I was a kid, I was driving along and I was supposed to signal. Mm-hmm. And I didn't. And I didn't look back to check. I was still young. Probably hadn't been driving a year. And as I made a turn, it was like a right-hand turn, a guy tried to pass me and cream me in the side. I mean, it just sent us both rolling. I mean, totally tumbling, right? His car especially. Mine kind of went into a spin. His went into a roll. And everyone was all right. It looked worse than it turned out for us. It didn't hurt that I was in a 63 Ford, Plymouth Valiant, which was all made of steel at that time. And I always look back now, dude. That changed me forever. That a habit that's ingrained in me now. Always look back. I'm a look back freak. Okay. I'm cruising on my motorcycle. I'm doing that now. So these people are changed forever. This is what we got to do. Now, hopefully it doesn't take somebody coming up and sucker punching you like this. I'm not talking about these people. The world. It could be anything. They are just a metaphor for anything happening in the world. One day, there's no food. What? What do you mean there's no food? Like I said earlier, you go into the stores, these people didn't know. Okay? One day you wake up and there's a tax agent at your door and he's armed because they're arming their tax agents. What? Weren't ready.
Yeah, well, the 2020 election was a sucker punch for a lot of people.
Yeah, right?
The meetings I go to and check out and help videotape, there's a ton of people there that feel like they've been sucker punched and they're paying attention now. Now
they're paying attention. That's right. So it's understanding that this is the reality we live in. That's all. And that's what you can do. Watch your six, as they say. Be aware of your surroundings and what people are saying and what's going on, what they're doing, what they're changing, the new laws that are coming in, the new rights that they're taking away from you. Study this a little bit. I hate politics. I hate this stuff, but you have to pay attention to it so that when the critical moment comes, you are prepared and ready. That's all I'm saying here. So, yeah. Him going to Russia, I don't know what it's going to do. Probably nothing. But
hopefully he leaves his weed at home.
Hopefully he's a little smarter than she was. Yeah. Speaking of Russia, and I'm just going to brush over this quickly because I'm not into Russian politics. I don't know, but I thought it was a crazy story. Is the daughter of an influential Vladimir Putin ally dies in a car bomb attack near Moscow. And this is the reason why the only reason why I bring it up is they are blaming that. You bringing that article up?
What number is it?
Let's see. It's number 5. I guess number 5.
Well,
No, not there. It's okay. That's all right.
You can't give me the same link twice.
Oh, I did?
Yep.
Oh, whoops. Okay. My bad. Okay, so I'll just go into it. So the daughter of this author, okay, who is Alexander Dugin, who is described as that he is a big-time supporter of, the whole Ukraine, the whole Russian system. I mean, this guy is he's the devout Russian, for the motherland kind of guy, and they describe him as Putin's brain. Okay, and he's loyal to Putin, very loyal to Putin. Now, when you were described as Putin's brain, okay, and so close to Putin in this way, like I say, he's an author, and I guess he's into philosophy and all kinds of things, and you have that access to Putin in this way. And then in a car bomb that was, I guess, meant for Alexander Dugin, and this was Daria Dugina, it was his, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, was his daughter, and, got into the wrong, the vehicle that her dad was supposed to get into, and it blew up. So something happened there. Somebody detonated a bomb that was meant for Alexander Dugin, and it blew up his daughter instead. Now, they're blaming this on Ukraine, okay? And the reason why this is kind of a big deal is with us trying to get, Brittany Griner back and all of that, trying to get, work out oil deals and all that with Russia. We're supporting Ukraine. We're funding Ukraine. And I don't know if you see a conflict going on here of interest. This guy now has a daughter that he's murdering. If you lost your daughter and it was the enemy who blew her up,
mm-hmm.
and you have access to Putin's ear, and you are literally referred to as Putin's brain, and America is supporting Ukraine. Are you seeing it? Putting it together here?
Mm-hmm.
This guy is going to have blood in his eyes. And this it just adds fuel to the fire. Not that this wasn't already a problem, but why are we in Ukraine? Why are we doing this? If we're wanting to keep world peace, and this is about world peace, why would you be supporting a country? Oh wait, Burisma. Oh yeah.
I was going to say Hunter
Never
Biden
mind.
was on the
Never
energy
mind.
board.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're looking out for you guys. They're looking out for you. Just put it all together in your mind. I'm not going to piece it together for you. It's not hard to do. Okay? That this is not about world peace. Never was. Okay? This is about personal interest, and now it's going to be about personal vendetta. And I'm going to just leave it at that and let everybody kind of work with that a little bit. And then I'm just going to do a hard break over to this next story. Here we go. You ready?
Hard break.
Trevor Noah condemns cancel culture. And, yeah. Okay.
Is he getting canceled?
And he took over for Jon Stewart, I believe.
Yeah.
Right? Is this right?
Yeah, it was Jon Stewart's The Daily Show.
Okay. And I'm not a big fan of Jon Stewart in some ways. Okay. Actually, I thought Jon Stewart was a pretty good comedian. Okay. He was funny. The guy was clever. The humor was kind of clever. A little snarky, but halfway decent. I would watch him. Okay. And I get a chuckle here and there. Look, you can always kind of laugh at yourself sometimes. You know what I mean? He's big time lefty, but that's okay. Okay. I'm not against leftists. I'm against the damage and the danger that they are to our culture. That's what I'm against. Believe what you want. We should all be open to our own beliefs. We all should be able to believe how we want, but not at the expense of others, which is what the leftists do. They have their own philosophy as to how the conservatives do that to them too. They're wrong. I'll break that down in another time. But Trevor Noah, I have never been a fan. This guy is not funny. I'm not going to harsh on him too much, but to me, look, it was so obvious when they brought him on. It was just, God, diversity hire.
Oh,
I'll just say it. That's exactly what it was, because he's not funny. He's never been funny. He's never been clever. He's not cute. I know everybody's going to say, oh, you don't think he's funny. You're a racist. You don't think they should have put him on there? Look, it comes back to what we said before. Put the best man in for the job, and he ain't it. Okay? I'm just going to premise everything with that. Okay? I don't care if you call me a racist or not. I know the truth. I'm not a racist. I don't care. If he was funny, I'd say he's funny as hell. He's the right man for the job. He's terrible.
But you're white. How can you not be racist?
I don't know. I guess I guess I'm special, Justin. I'm just special that way.
You're a white, male, racist, bigoted Republican. Like, what? How could you say that?
Well, he's now coming out and he's saying that he's condemning cancel culture, saying everyone should have the opportunity for redemption. Okay, let's read a little bit here. It says Trevor Noah. He said, I think we've gotten very comfortable with discarding human beings, immediately tossing them away and making them irredeemable characters. He said, this is of course what he has been doing with his comedy for years. When in fact, I think all of us see it's rules for thee, not for me. Okay, it's not. It really, he's not talking about himself. Although a lot of comedians are getting canceled right now. Dave Chappelle comes to mind, and there's.
Well, he's not really canceled, but they're
yeah,
trying.
but they're trying. They're doing everything they can. And now he's kind of saying, well, shoot, they're coming after the comedians. I could be. He might be starting to see. That's the great thing about these creative minds, because I would put him in the category. Anyone who's an entertainer, I call a creative. They're an artist. Whether they're a good artist or not, that's beside the point. But he's not the right man and never has been the right man for the job. That's my opinion. Now he's saying, cancel culture. People should be able to be redeemed. Well, thank you so much, Trevor Noah, for finally coming out and saying people should not be canceled. Where were you 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when everybody was saying this? Before so many people were attacked, before they started this whole, division between left, right, men, women, black, white, when they started all this division, because this is a garbage mentality. It's too little too late, in my opinion.
Yeah, he probably would say he was in South Africa, but really he was just trying to make jokes on the Daily Wire, on Daily Show.
Yes.
Not the.
Yeah. So now, he's anyway. To me, when I saw this article, though, I was right away just like, the virtuousness that comes out in this. It's the same thing you see when the left. I'm so virtuous. Everyone should have a chance. We shouldn't attack people. Really? Now, you're so virtuous. Oh, so above the rest. So above the fray. Anyway. So in this next story, they're doing with art what Trevor Noah was doing with comedy. Okay. And we'll kind of wrap things up with this. This is, look, like I say, this is a podcast kind of directed at creatives, artists. I mean, anybody could listen and maybe get something from it. Maybe not. I don't know. But
I feel like I've seen this like years ago, though.
They did. Yeah. This was a story quite a while back where there was, this was an art that was sold for, and I don't know how they did this. I mean, if it was it framed? I'm not sure, but this was okay. So Mauer's go on down to the bottom here. Let's read a little bit. It says, it's not often that the worlds of art and life, I don't want to get into that. A California artist named Joe Morford is suing Italian artist Maurizio. Maurizio?
Sounds Italian.
Yeah, Catalan? Is that how you would pronounce that? Claiming that Catalan, I'm just going to say it that way, stole his idea about taping a banana to the wall. And last month, the federal judge in Florida waded into the dispute and rejected Catalan's request to toss the suit. Okay, so what it was he sold that piece of art for $390,000, a banana taped to the wall. And so this guy Morford, who came up with originally the idea that he stole that idea from, is suing him for the same amount. Okay? Just a little bit more than what Fauci gets annually for his retirement.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, but right, $390,000 for the banana, but we all know that that's just the way they transfer money. That's really what the art world is. It's a corrupt thing.
It's corrupt.
So no one really would pay $390,000 for a taped banana, just like why no one would pay as much as they do for Hunter Biden's paintings.
Yes, that's perfectly said. Perfectly said. And it's all part of getting over the system. And you see this too much from people who are in the lefty creative community. They want to see a way where they're going to be able to somehow have no responsibility, live their life frivolously, do some kind of simple thing where they tape a banana to a wall, and then they sell it for $390,000. Now, does this happen? It does. Just like Hunter Biden's paintings can sell for $500,000 for all the reasons Justin said. But it's what destroys art, real art, creative art. It sends the wrong message and the wrong impression to creative minds. And that I have a problem with. Okay? Because to me, it plays to the weakest and the most fearful parts of ourselves. That's not at least that's not the message I would put out there. You need to have work ethic. You need to be driven, have a goal, have passion, be inspired, work with other people who work hard and believe that you should work hard, that hold you to account. All of these things will make you the best that you can be, the best musician, the best painter, the best singer, the best writer, whatever you do, comedian. I'm just not going to say that somebody's good when they're not. This is shit. It's shit. And not for the sake of it, because what's funny is you can put this on a t-shirt and it does become a statement. But for all the wrong reasons. It becomes a statement for everything that surrounds it. I paid $390,000 for shit. And that's what it represents. I don't know if I'm getting the message through clearly here, but it plays into a culture right now that feels like we can get something for nothing. And I talked to Justin about this a little bit earlier, tears down, and Gary Vee talks about this. I said that it's people who want to tear down everyone else's building rather than building theirs up. Because if I tear down your building, if I bring you down, this is what leftists, this is what the problem with the community that I feel that I'm a part of. This is the problem with this community, is they don't really want you to excel. They don't want you to be the best. They don't want you to work hard and to have work ethic and feel that you should get paid or you should be rewarded in proportion to the effort that you put in. They don't believe that. They're looking for that cheat. And when you do that, when you're not a cheater with them, when you are not somebody trying to get something for nothing, When you're not relying on, oh, but I'm this race, or I'm this gender, or I'm this, I come from this impoverished situation. I'm discriminated against. The victim, a whole victim mentality. If you don't buy in, if they can't tear your building down, then what you show them is how weak and feckless and bullshit they are. And they don't like that. And they don't want that. They want those freebies. Right? This is something that can be controlled. You cannot control those people. I'm not telling you to. I'm not trying to bash them. They're not going to change. Right? There's this thing right now that's called quiet quitting.
Yeah,
Quiet
I've heard of
quitting.
that.
Have you heard of this?
I haven't really looked into it much though.
Yeah, and what it is there's people out there that are saying,
well, they're not going to work as hard as they have been.
right.
That's what I've.
Yes, don't put in any more effort than what you are paid to do. Okay, and what they do is they put this out there as a virtue. This is something I'm putting more time into myself, into my life, into my goals, into my dreams, and into my mental health. Okay, rather than putting any effort into, your company, your business, your work, the actual work that is good work. Practice. We often call it rudiment.